Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we translate Wall Street jargon into plain English. And today we're diving into something that might sound a bit dry, but has some potentially interesting nuggets. Get ready, because we're about to unravel bioAffinity Technology's latest report. And trust me, there is more to it than just a simple announcement. Stick around to see what this filing really tells us about where this company is headed. Before we dive in, if you are new here and love cutting through the corporate fluff to find the real story, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to connect with other curious minds and discuss these filings further, join our Discord community. The link is in the description below. Alright, so what we have here is a Form 8K filing from bioAffinity Technologies Incorporated. Think of an 8K as a company's way of telling the SEC and the public about any major events that happen between their regular quarterly or annual reports. It is like a special bulletin board for significant news. The big news here is dated the 7th of January 2026. This is the date of the earliest event the company is reporting on. The company itself is bioAffinity Technologies Incorporated. They're incorporated in Delaware, which is a common place for companies to set up shop. You can see their state of incorporation listed here, Delaware, and then a couple of other identification numbers that are essentially like a company's social security number and file numbers for the CC. Nothing too exciting for us to dig into here, but important bureaucratic details. This filing mentions their principal executive offices, which are in San Antonio, Texas. For us, what's important is the why behind this report, not necessarily their exact street address. This section is essentially a company checking boxes. They're indicating if this particular 8A filing is also being used to satisfy other reporting requirements, like if they're making announcements related to mergers or other complex transactions. In this case, it looks like they're just filing this report on its own. Now, let's look at what the company actually trades on the stock market. We see their common stock, and its par value is a tiny fraction of a cent, $0.007 per S-hair. The ticker symbol for their common stock is BAF. This is what you type into a stock tracking app. And they're traded on the NASDAQ Capital Market, which is a segment of the NASDAQ exchange. They also have warrants to purchase common stock, which are essentially options to buy shares at a certain price in the future. The ticker for these warrants is BAFW. Here is an interesting point. bioAffinity Technologies Incorporated has checked the box indicating they are an emerging growth company. This means they qualify for certain regulatory accommodations, often related to financial reporting, allowing them to delay adopting new accounting standards for a bit longer than larger, more established companies. They have not elected to use the extended transition period for new accounting standards, meaning they're choosing to adopt them sooner rather than later, which can sometimes signal a desire for greater transparency or preparedness. This brings us to the heart of the 8K filing, the Other Events section. This is where the company highlights significant news that doesn't fit into other more specific categories. So, what is this big event? On the 7th of January 2026, bioAffinity Technologies announced through a press release that their wholly owned subsidiary, Precision Pathology Laboratory Services, has successfully kept its accreditation from the College of American Pathologists. This comes after an on-site inspection. And finally, we get to the exhibits. This section lists all the supporting documents attached to the filing. Here we see Exhibit 99.1, which is the actual press release by bioAffinity Technologies Incorporated, dated the 7th of January 2026. This is where all the details of their announcement would be. They've incorporated this press release into their filing, meaning it is officially part of the record with the SEC. And then Exhibit 104, which is an interactive data file, essentially a machine-readable version of the report's cover page. This page is just a footer for the document. Now we're at the signatures section. This is where company officers formally sign off on the report, attesting that the information within it is accurate to the best of their knowledge. The date of the signature is the 7th of January 2026, matching the date of the event. And here we have the signature of Maria Zanz. Her name is Maria Zanz, and she holds the title of President and Chief Executive Officer. This signature confirms that the leadership of bioAffinity Technologies Incorporated is taking responsibility for the accuracy of this Form 8. Another footer now. Let's look at the bigger picture here. What does this filing and specifically the news about their subsidiaries' accreditation really mean? On the surface, it is a positive event. Maintaining accreditation from a respected organization like the College of American Pathologists is crucial for a laboratory, especially one focused on pathology services. It signals that Precision Pathology Laboratory Services is meeting high standards for quality and accuracy in its testing and operations. For an investor, this is good news because it reduces a certain type of risk. It shows the subsidiary is operating reliably and is less likely to face regulatory issues or lose business due to quality concerns. Think of it like a restaurant always passing health inspections. It is not necessarily going to make them the hottest dining spot overnight, but it reassures customers and stakeholders that the basic operational standards are being met, which is a foundation for everything else. In the healthcare and diagnostics industry, where precision and reliability are paramount, this kind of accreditation is fundamental. It builds trust with doctors, hospitals, and potentially other healthcare providers who would use their services. However, it is important to remember that this is an 8K filing focused on a re-accreditation. This isn't typically where you find booming sales figures or dramatic shifts in financial performance. For that, you'd usually look at their 10Q or 10K filings, which are more comprehensive financial reports. So, while this news is positive for the operational stability and reputational standing of precision pathology laboratory services, it doesn't directly provide us with insights into the company's current financial health or growth trajectory. The fact that they are flagged as an emerging growth company is also worth noting. This often means the company is still relatively new and potentially growing, but also might have fewer resources or a less established track record than larger competitors. Their decision not to use the extended transition period for accounting standards adoption could be a sign of confidence in their financial reporting system, or simply a strategic choice to align with industry best practices sooner rather than later. Overall, this filing reassures us that a key part of bioAffinity Technologies Incorporated's business, its laboratory subsidiary, is operating soundly and meeting industry benchmarks. It removes a potential worry and solidifies a base level of operational integrity. But for a deeper dive into the company's financial performance and future prospects, we'd need to analyze their more detailed financial statements. So, what is my take? This is a good operational update, a de-risking event for the subsidiary. It shows they are competently managing their core laboratory functions. The strengths are in operational quality and meeting regulatory requirements. The weakness, or rather the unknown for us from this filing, is the financial performance and growth strategy beyond this accreditation. The opportunity lies in how this operational stability translates into business growth and revenue generation for the parent company. Alright? That is our breakdown of bioAffinity Technologies Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.